Hello everyone, welcome to mathworld. This video is to discuss Cambridge International AS and A-Level Mathematics, Paper 1, which is the Pure Mathematics 1 for May-June 2019, and the code is 9709/11. So let's move on to question number 1. Okay, so for question number 1, the term independence of x in this expansion, where k is a constant, is 540. First part, find the value of k. So for binomial expansion, we need to use the formula. So for a plus b to the power of n, it is summation r from 0 to n, ncr, then a to the power of r, b to the power of n minus r. So this is the full expansion. Okay, then from here, I will be writing down this expansion. This term first. That is summation r from 0 to 6 if you compare. Okay, then here will be 6cr. Then a is first term, which is your 2x to the power of r. Then the second term is going to be k over x to the power of 6 minus r. Okay, so from here, since in the question you are given that the term independent of x, this is basically x degree 0, and is given that it is 540. Okay, then from here, I will just split all the variables first, or split all the terms first. It will be, now we have a formula here. If you have a b to the power of m, that is going to be a to the power of m, b to the power of m. So this r must bring into the bracket, and same goes to the other term. So from here, I will be getting 2 degree r times x degree r. Then this 6 minus r will be brought into the k and also x. It will be k to the power of 6 minus r, and your x is the denominator. Alright, so therefore I will move up to becomes x power -1 first, with the degree of x6 minus r. And then now, term independence of x is referring to x degree 0. So now I will just consider the total degree on the right hand side. Right, so here, that means I will be getting x degree 0 equals to, now you check here, it will be x degree r and x degree this term. So I will just combine both first. Okay, then from here, you will get x degree 0 equals to x degree. Now, the -1 times 6 minus r, just bring it in. Okay, and then we have a formula here. This is x degree r, then x degree minus 6 plus r. Then I have another formula, which is a degree m multiplied with a degree n, that is a degree m plus n. Okay, that means now I will just combine my degrees. So it will be r plus minus 6 plus r. Then the left side is x degree 0. Now, since both sides with the base x, I will just compare the degrees. So 0 equals to r plus minus 6 plus r is basically r minus 6 plus r. Then I will be getting 2r equals to 6. Hence, my r is going to be 3. So that means my independence of x happens when r equals to 3. And now the term, right? The term, it will be 6r, 2 power r, and k to the power of 6 minus r. So now, I will just write down, it's given here. Okay, x degree 0 is 540. That means I will say the term independent of x is 540. So when r equals to 3, right, 540 equals to, just replace the r into these 3 values. So I will get 6c3, and then 2 to the power of r, therefore 2 power 3. After that, k to the power of 6 minus r. So k to the power of 6 minus 3. Then from here, you will be getting 160 k cubed equals to 540. That means now my k is going to be k cube first. Okay, k cube is 540 over 160. That means now your k cube is 27 over 8. Hence, your k is cube roots of this, that will be 3 over 2. So that's the solution of this question. Okay, now part 2. For this value of k, find the coefficient of x squared. Now for this case, I will just refer to x squared, means that now I need to find out the r. Okay, again, repeat this step, right? But change this 0 to 2. Okay, so I will write x squared equals to x to the power of, now when you look at here, x to this degree, okay, so it will be 2r plus 6 when you add up the first and last term. So I will just direct write 2r, sorry, that is 2r minus 6. So here 2r minus 6. Now your 2 equals to 2r minus 6. Therefore 2r, when you move the minus 6 to the other side, it becomes plus. So I will be getting 8. Therefore my r is 4. Okay, and now the coefficient for x squared. So now here I will just write coefficient of x squared. So I will use back the same 3 values, right? Just refer back to these 3 values and replace the r value. So I will get 6cr. So now your r is 4. So it will be 6c4. After that, 2 degree 4. And then k degree 6 minus r. Now my k is 3 over 2. So replace k value and then 6 minus 4. Then from here, you will be getting 6c4, 2 degree 4, 3 over 2 degree 2. And at last, you will be getting 540. So that's the solution for part 2. Now for question number 2, the line 4y equals to x plus c, where c is a constant, is a tangent to the quadratic curve. At the points P on the curve, find the value of c. Now since this is a quadratic curve, and this straight line is a tangent, that means I will say that there will be one intersection point between them. Okay, or in other words, this straight line will be just touching. Let's say this is a graph. Okay, no, sorry, y squared equals to x plus 3. It's supposed to be like this. So there will be just one intersection point here, and the line is actually touching the curve since it is a tangent. So therefore, I will solve the simultaneous equations first to get the intersection point, but then later on, because of tangent, just one root for the equation, I will use b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. That is the discriminant equals to 0, which is giving you one real and equal root. Okay, so that's the idea to solve this whole question. Now, I let the straight line be the first equation, and then from here, basically, I can get my x. Right, my x will be 4y minus c. So I let this be first equation. Now, so the second equation is basically the curve, x squared plus 3. I mean, y squared equals to x plus 3. So this is my second equation. Now I will be substituting first equation into second equation. That means now you are getting y squared equals to, now the x itself will be replaced by these two terms. Therefore, I will be getting 4y minus c, that is my x, and then plus 3. Okay, then now I will move all the terms to the left hand side to make it to a quadratic equation. Therefore, you will be getting y squared minus 4y plus c minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, and now I will compare with the quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0 before I apply this discriminant equals to 0. Okay, therefore now I need to write down my ABC first, all the coefficients. So which means I will leave my answer in, now I'm getting the equation in terms of y. So that means my A is 1 because it's 1y squared. And then my B is minus 4 because of minus 4y. And then my C here, that is the constant, will be C minus 3. Okay, because I group them as 1. So now, I will just write B squared minus 4AC equals to 0. Then just replace the 3 values. So it will be minus 4 squared minus 4 times 1. The C is C minus 3, then equals to 0. Now here I will be getting 16 minus, okay, basically this is 4. Okay, minus 4 times C, it will be minus 4C. And then minus 4 times minus 3, it will be plus 12. And now the question is asking for C value. Therefore, the minus 4C will be moved to the right side. And then I will just simplify 16 plus 12 on the left side. That is going to be 28. That equals to 4C. Hence, your C is 7. So, solve for the first part. Now, part 2. Find the coordinates of points P. So when you refer back to the question, basically it is a tangent at the points P. That means this is your points P. Okay, which is the intersection point. Alright, so now since we have found the C is 7, so basically when you refer to this equation, this is the equation to give you the y coordinates of the stationary point. So now you just need to substitute this C into the equation. Alright, so I will rewrite this equation and replace the C value. So y squared minus 4y plus C minus 3 equals to 0. And now the C is found as 7. Right, that means this equation becomes y squared minus 4y, 7 minus 3 is plus 4. Therefore, from here, this quadratic equation can be factorized into y minus 2 squared. That equals to 0. How to get it? It's basically like this. To get y squared, that is y times y. To get 4, okay, now check here. This is minus. We know that minus times minus is a plus. Therefore, both of these must be minus. Now, in order to get minus 4 here and together with this 4, so I know that this 4 can be 4 times 1 and also 2 times 2. So in order to get the minus 4y here, since both are minus, I must choose both minus 2. Okay, both 2. That will be the middle value when you multiply these two together is minus 2y. And then final answer, first and last column you times. Middle column you plus. So therefore I will get y squared, then here plus 4, and the middle column when you plus, that will be minus 4y. Okay, and then the factors will be just cross multiply. Therefore I will get y minus 2 times y minus 2. That is my y minus 2 squared. And now, from here, when squared equals to 0 means that y minus 2 equals to 0, and hence your y equals to 2. Once you found y value, that is the y coordinates of the point P. And then now we need to find x. So you can just substitute into the first equation. Right? So I will write from first equation of part A, my x is basically 4y minus c. Okay, and now my c is 7. That means my x becomes 4y minus 7. And we have found the y equals to 2. Therefore, your x is 4 minus 4 bracket 2 minus 7. That is 1. Hence, I get my P with coordinates 1 and 2. So that's the solution for part 2. Now for question number 3, a sector of circle with radius r has an area of a centimeter squared. Express the perimeter of the sector in terms of r and a. Okay, let's say for example, this is the sector. Here is R, this is theta. Okay, we know that A is the area of sector, that is half R squared theta. And then now the theta is not given in the question, but then you are given the area is A. Therefore, from here I can find my theta. Because later on you need to find the perimeter of the sector in terms of R and theta, R and A. So it means that I need to know what is my theta. Therefore, my theta is basically A over, okay, this R squared, move it down, then the 2 move up. Okay, so now perimeter of a sector is basically both radius plus this arc length. So both radius means R plus R. The arc length formula is basically theta R. So here I will just write plus theta R. Now R plus R is 2R, and then the theta is 2A over R squared. Then you multiply with R. So therefore you get 2R plus 2A over R. So that is your perimeter in terms of A and R. Okay, now next question, number 4. The diagram shows a trapezium ABCD in which the coordinates are given A, B, C, right? And the line BC and AD are parallel. Okay, you see these two arrows. Angle ABC is 90 degrees and CD is parallel to x-axis. Okay, that means this is horizontal line. So by horizontal line, I know that it will be having the same y coordinate. So my D, I do not know the x. This will be 3h. Okay, that's the meaning of parallel to x-axis. It is a horizontal line. Now, first part, find by calculation the value of h. Okay, so now to get the h value, look at this. Here is the 90 degrees. That means I can say that gradient of BC multiply with gradient of AB equals to minus 1 because of this 90 degrees. Okay, then you will be having the h. And now we can solve the h using this formula. So I will write MAB times MCD or BC, BC equals to minus 1 because of the 90 degrees. So now for your information, if let's say you are given 2 points, A is x1, y1, then the B is with coordinates x2, y2, the gradient is basically the difference of the y divided by the difference of the x. So now my points, okay, let me write down first. My A is 4, 0, B is 0, 2, C is h and 3h. Okay, so now use the gradient formula. So MAB, use these 2 points. My y is 0 minus 2, the difference of the y, then over 4 minus 0. You multiply with BC. So now you refer to these 2 points. Right, again, the change in the y, that means I can say 3h minus 2 over change in the x, so h minus 0, that is minus 1. Then from here, for the first term, that is going to be negative half. So you times with 3h minus 2, h minus 0 is actually h. Then I get minus 1. So now, since both sides you have minus 1, that means the minus 1 can be cancelled off. And now, my left-hand side will be 3h minus 2 over 2h. And then the right-hand side is 1. And then from here, I can just multiply. Okay, move the 2h to the other side. Because my purpose is to find the h. Therefore, here you will be getting 3h minus 2 equals to 2h. Now, to get the h, this 2h move to left side, and the minus 2 will be moved to right side. So therefore, I will be getting 3h minus 2h, which is 1h, and then the minus 2 will move to right side, that is positive 2. So done for the h. Okay, next question. Hence means use the h value that you have just found, find the coordinates of d. Right? So from here, look at here, I know that the y coordinates of the d is 3h, right? But then the x we do not know. Therefore, now use these two information, the arrows, means that the BC is parallel to AD, right? So now I have to find out what is my gradients for BC first. So basically, gradients of BC is here. This is BC, right? Now look at here. Your gradients of AB, right? Your gradients of AB is basically negative half. Therefore, gradients of BC, it should be 2, right? So that the multiplication equals to minus 1. So then from here, I will just write MAB is negative half. Therefore, MBC is 2. Okay, this is from first part. Now, since you know that this is gradients of 2, that means gradients of AD is also 2, right? So then from here, I will just write gradients of AD same as BC equals to 2. So now I need to write down my A is with coordinates 4, 0, and then my D is with coordinates x, 3h. Okay, and from the previous question, our h is 2. So now I will just write h equals to 2. That means this is my point D. So D becomes, x is unknown, 3h means that 3 times 2, which is 6. So now I will be using these 2 points to do the calculation. Right? So 2 equals to gradient. So gradient is basically change in y over change in x. So I will write 6 minus 0 over x minus 4. Then now I will be getting 2 equals to 6 over x minus 4. And now to get the x, just move this denominator to the left side. Then here I will be getting 2 brackets x minus 4 equals to 6. Now you can divide by 2 first. So when I divide by 2, I will get x minus 4 equals to 3. Hence my x is 3 plus 4, which is 7. Then now with this, I will get my D as 7, 6. Okay, after you replace it into this coordinate. Okay, so for question number 5, given this fx, this is a quadratic function whereby the x is real number. First part, express these 3 terms, the quadratic function, in the form. This form is basically the completed square form. Okay, so now means that we need to carry out completing the square. So the rule for completing the square is make sure the coefficient for x squared must be positive 1. Then now we need to factorize the minus 2. So when you factorize minus 2 means that you are dividing the terms by minus 2. So therefore, first term left x squared. Second term, 12x divided by minus 2 is basically minus 6x. And then I close bracket and minus 3 at the back. Then now, you just need to rewrite these 2 terms inside the square bracket, and then you plus bracket squared and minus bracket squared, followed by minus 3 at the back. So now, for your information, the term inside the brackets should be half of the coefficient of x. That means it will be minus 6 divided by 2. Okay, then you will be getting minus 2. And now you factorize the first and third term, right? And you write the square at the back outside the bracket. So here is x. Now when you look at the second tick here, right, it is negative 6 over 2. So I will simplify this into minus 3 and then square outside. Now followed by negative minus 3 squared close bracket and minus another 3. So now when you look at this form, this is minus 2 times a number plus another number. So that means this minus 2 must bring into the bracket, right? So from here, I will say that it's basically minus 2 times x minus 3 squared. Now, this minus 2 times minus is positive 2. This positive 2 times 9, that will be positive 18. Then followed by minus 3. And now, just need to simplify the last two constants and you will be getting the answer. So 18 minus 3 is plus 15. So that's all for the first part. Now, number 2, state the greatest value of fx. So the greatest value of fx is basically referring to the y value of the vertex, right? So from here, I know that it must have a maximum point because of the coefficient for x squared is minus, right? And then the y value just refer to the plus b. So therefore, that is 15. This is the y coordinate of the maximum point. That is also the greatest value of fx. So I will just write greatest value of fx equals to 15. Okay, so that's all for the part 2. Now, the function g is defined by a straight line where x is real number. For third part, find the values of x for which g f x plus 1 equals to 0. This g f x is a composite function. So since here mentioned values means that you will get more than one x. Alright, so now I will write down my fx first. So my gx is 2x plus 5. And then my fx, I will just use my completed square form. Copy this. Minus 2 of squared x minus 3 plus 15. Okay, now gfx plus 1. So gfx is basically g of fx. Then plus 1 equals to 0. Now, when you compare gx with all this, that means now your x in the gx must be replaced by all these terms inside the square bracket. So I will be getting 2 of the terms inside the bracket. That is my new x, and then followed by plus 5. And then plus 1 equals to 0. And now you need to find the x values. So then from here, I will just times in the square, the 2 first, I will get negative 4, bracket, x minus 3 squared plus 2 times 15 is 30. And then plus 6 equals to 0. Then from here, that is basically minus 4 of the quadratic. And then this is plus 36. Alright, so I can move this plus 36 to the other side. That will be minus 36. On other words, the minus will be cancelled off and the 4, or probably I can just divide by negative 4 directly. Okay, so here you will be getting x minus 3 squared equals to 9. Now, to get the x values here, you can either do expansion for the quadratic, but I will not use that method. I will just direct move the square to the other side. Okay, so when I move the square to the other side, it's basically plus minus square root 9. And now here I will split it into two terms. The first one is x minus 3 equals to positive 3, because square root 9 is 3. Another one is minus 3. Then from here I will get 2x. So now, very simple. This minus 3 move to right side and same goes to the other one. That means you will be getting x equals to 6 and the other one is x equals to 0. Okay, so now let's look at the answer here, the question here. X is real number, and for the gx, that is also real number. Okay, so for your information, this is gf, right? Gf is basically this is gf, means this is the f. Okay, so in this group, first group, domain G is same as domain GF, right? Therefore, this X will be the domain. That's why I say that domain GF means that this whole function, right? This whole function here, the X value will be satisfied by the F. So by looking at the F is defined for a real number, therefore, we can accept these two X values. Okay? So therefore, X equals to 0 and also 6. So that's all for this solution. Okay, now next question number 6, first part, prove the identity. So now for this kind of question, you can either start from the left hand side or right hand side, but I will start from the side that is complicated, right? So for the left hand side, because there is a square there, so it involves expansion. Okay, therefore I will start from the left hand side. So I will just write 1 over cos x minus tangent x squared. Then now you need to get sine x in the answer. So when I do expansion, use the quadratic formula. A minus b squared, that is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so now you square the 1 over cos, that is 1 over cos square x. Now minus 2, 1 over cos x times tangent x. And then you plus with square of the tangent x. So that is tangent square x. Okay, now here I will change the tangent x to sine over cos first because the answer there's no tangent. So I will change to 1 over cos square x minus 2 times 1 over cos x is basically 2 over cos x. Then tangent x is sine x over cos x plus tangent square x is basically sine square x over cos square x. Now, by looking at this, basically you are getting the same denominator because cos x times cos x is cos square x. So when same denominator for all three terms means that I can just combine all the terms. Then here I will be getting cos square x. So the numerator is 1. And then here minus 2 sine x. Last term is plus sine square x. Okay, again this you can just rearrange it, right? So basically this is sine square x minus 2 sine x plus 1 over cos square x. Alright, so now you can just factorize this. So sine square x means sine x times sine x. And then here is 1, so 1 times 1. And now for the sine, here is minus, must multiply with minus to get the plus. Both are minus. Therefore, the middle term is going to be, okay, I need more space. This is minus, minus. So the middle term will be minus sine x because when you times these two values. So this is again minus sine x. So at last, you are getting sine square x minus 2 sine x plus 1. So from here, I know that my factors will be sine x minus 1 squared. So then from here, I will get sine x minus 1 squared. Okay, now for the cos square x, because in the answer here there's no cos, so I will have to change it to an identity. So cos square x plus sine square x equals to 1, and get this cos square x as a subject by moving sine square x to the right side, which means cos square x is 1 minus sine square x. Then here I will be getting 1 minus sine square x. Okay, now you can just change. Okay, so this sine square x minus 1, alright, you can just say this is sine square x minus 1, sorry, this is sine x minus 1 squared. Now for the denominator, we have a formula. A squared minus b squared is a minus b times a plus b. So this 1 I can say is 1 squared. Therefore my a is 1, my b is sine x. So therefore you will be getting over 1 minus sine x times 1 plus sine x. Okay, now you check the answer here. Answer should has 1 minus sine x. And now my numerator I have sine x minus 1. Means that now I can just take out minus. Then this one will be 1 minus sine x. And then square it. Then 1 minus sine x. And then 1 plus sine x. Okay, so when you consider the square of minus, that will be positive. So here basically I'm getting 1 minus sine x squared over 1 minus sine x times 1 plus sine x. So now here this sine x cancel off. Therefore I'm getting the right hand side. So done for this proving. Okay, now part 2, hence means use the previous answer, solve the equation equals to 1 over 3. Okay, so now you check. This equation is 1 over cos 2x minus tangent 2x squared. But then the previous question is 1 over cos x. Alright, that means now your x in the identity has been changed to 2x. Right? Okay, so which means I will get 1 minus sine 2x over 1 plus sine 2x equals to 1 over 3. Okay, so now to get this, with the axis 0 to pi, so now I will move up, and I will use cross multiplication. Therefore, you are getting 3 brackets 1 minus sine 2x equals to 1 times 1 plus sine 2x. And now you do expansion. So then you will be getting 3 minus 3 sine 2x equals to 1 plus sine 2x. Okay, and now here, this sine 2x will move to the other side, and the constant move to another side, which means I will be getting 3 minus 1 equals to sine 2x plus 3 sine 2x. So 2 equals to 4 sine 2x, hence sine 2x is half. Okay, now look at here. Your x is between 0 and pi. And now we are solving 2x. So I will have to get the domain for 2x or interval for 2x, which is times 2. So you just get 0 until 2 pi. And now I will just draw the quadrant. Sine angle is half. Therefore, the angle must be in first and second quadrant. So here I will write basic angle is inverse sine half. Inverse sine half is basically pi over 6, which means here I will be getting pi over 6, and the other side is also pi over 6. Now, my 2x, by looking at the quadrant, first angle pi over 6, second angle is this green color. Therefore, I will write pi over 6, and the other one is going to be pi minus pi over 6. Okay, because one horizontal line is pi. Therefore, I will be getting pi over 6 and 5 over 6 pi. Hence, my x is just divided by 2. That will be pi over 12 and 5 over 12 pi. So, done for this question. Next question, number 7. Okay, the diagram shows a three-dimensional shape in which the base OABC and the upper surface DEFG are identical horizontal squares. Now you are given two parallelograms, OAED and CBFG. The M is the midpoint of AF. Alright, AF. So we join. Right? M is in the middle. Now, unit vector ij are parallel to OA and OC, and then the K is vertically upwards. OA is given HI, and then the OD is 3I plus 10K. So this is 3I plus 10K. Now express each of the vectors AM and GM in terms of IJK. Okay, so now look at here. AM. It's mentioned that the M is the midpoint of AF. So AM is half of AF. Right, so now here I will write AM is half of AF. Now AF, how to get it? That is basically the vector AB plus vector BF. That is your AF. Okay, so here I will write AB plus BF. Now, my AB, okay, because you look at here, the base is horizontal square, right? Identical horizontal square, the bottom and the top face here. So square means same length. OA is HI. The I is a unit vector in the direction of OA. The H here means the length, which means the length of AB is H as well. And then the direction is J. So I know that AB is HJ. Okay? And then what is my BF? You see the BF here is actually parallel to OD. Okay? So then I will just write AB is same as HJ. So here HJ. BF is parallel to OD, right? So here you can just write BF is parallel to OD. Therefore, BF is same as OD, which is 3I plus 10K. So here I will just replace 3I plus 10K. Hence, you times in, right, and rearrange first. Write the I followed by J followed by K. So half times 3, it will be 3 over 2I. And then HJ times half, that is 4J. 10K times half, that is 5K. So this is the solution of AM. Now to get the GM, okay, so GM, now look at here, GM. So GM is basically GF plus FM. That is your GM, right? So now I will write down GF plus FM. Now, my GF, basically, GF is in the same direction of OA. Therefore, I know that this is 8I. So here I will write 8I. Now my FM. Okay, FM, look at here. FM is going down. Just now we have found the AM. Alright, your AM is pointing upwards. But we know that the M is in the middle. That means by right, the length should be the same for AM and also FM. But then the FM is in the opposite direction as in the AM. Therefore, I will say FM is negative AM. So here, I will just write FM is negative AM. Okay, AM we have found just now. This is your AM. That means now I will just write this is basically negative 3 over 2I, negative 4J, negative 5K. Okay, because you times negative to your AM. So now here I will just write negative 3 over 2I, negative 4J, negative 5K. Then now 8I minus 3 over 2I, that is going to be 13 over 2I. And then followed by minus 4J and minus 5K. Okay, so that's all for this first part of vector question. Now part 2, use a scalar product to find angle GMA correct to the nearest degree. Okay, where is the GMA? Right, now look at here. GMA, that means this is the angle. So when you need to find the angle GMA, we need to refer to the angle pointing outwards. Okay, that means I need to refer to MG and also MA. Alright, so now I will define first. Let angle GMA equals to theta. So if I draw again, this is your GMA, this is your theta. I need MG and MA. Okay, MG and MA. So now here I will just write MG dot MA, refer to the scalar product formula. Let's say you are given two vectors AB and the angle bounded by the two vectors is theta. So the scalar product formula is A dot B equals to magnitude A, magnitude B cos theta. Okay, therefore I'm getting now this is magnitude MG, magnitude MA cos theta. Now MG is in the opposite direction of GM. Okay, MG is negative GM. So now here I will write MG equals to negative GM and your MA is negative AM. Okay, so now I will just copy the vectors that I found in the previous part, but times a negative. That means now instead of 13 over 2I minus 4J minus 5K, just times negative to all these three values. Then it becomes negative 13 over 2I. The minus 4J becomes 4. and then the k, right, minus 5k becomes positive 5 because you times by negative. Dot, your MA is negative of AM. So again, all these three values, right, all these three values you just times by negative. So I will be getting negative 3 over 2, negative 4, negative 5. So here, negative 3 over 2, negative 4, and then negative 5. Now for the magnitude, just take the square of each component and plus all together. So the first one, I'll get negative 13 over 2 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared. That is the first magnitude. Second magnitude is going to be negative 3 over 2 squared plus negative 4 squared plus minus 5 squared. Okay, these two are the calculations of the magnitudes. Magnitude is actually the length, and then followed by cos theta at the back. Now, for information, the dot product is basically you multiply first and then you plus all together. Then from here, I will be getting negative 13 over 2. So I show step by step, times negative 3 over 2 plus 4 times negative 4 plus 5 times negative 5. So the first square root, that is square root of 83.25. Okay, and then the second magnitude is basically 43.25. Then cos theta. So then for the left hand side, when you get the total, that is basically negative 31.25. So I rewrite the right hand side, and then now my purpose is to get the theta. Okay, calculate the angle correct to the nearest degree. So it means I need to find out what is my theta. So from here, I will just say my cos theta is basically negative 31.25 over both square root. Then now my theta is 121.4 degrees. But then now, when you read the question carefully, it's mentioned that nearest degree. So when nearest degree means you shouldn't have decimal. Alright, so since this is only 4, so I will just ignore the 4. At last, you are getting 121 degrees. That is the angle in the question. Now, question 8a. The third and fourth terms of a geometric progression are 48 and 32 respectively. Find the sum to infinity of the progression. So for geometric progression, just for information, Tn is ARn minus 1. This is, they are given the third term equals to 48. That means AR square equals to 48, whereby the A is the first term and the R is the common ratio. And then for the next one, T4, fourth term equals to 32. Therefore, you can write AR cubed equals to 32. And now, to find the sum to infinity, basically this sum to infinity is S infinity equals to A over 1 minus R, which means I need to find out the A and R first before I calculate the sum to infinity. So now I need to solve these two simultaneous equations. So I use second equation divided by first equation. I will be getting R cubed over R squared because the A will be cancelled off, equals to 32 over 48. Now for the left hand side, R cubed over R squared is basically R. That is 32 over 48. And now you can simplify this into 2 over 3. Okay, and now since you have found the R, to get the A, you can just substitute into first or second equation. I will refer to the first equation. So AR squared equals to 48, which means now here you get 4 over 9, A equals to 48, and now my A, it will be 48 times 9 over 4. And When you simplify, this is going to be 108. Once you have found the R and A, now our question is asking for sum to infinity. Therefore, you just write here sum to infinity, as infinity is A over 1 minus R. And now you replace the values. A is 108 over 1 minus R is 2 over 3. Therefore, you will be getting 324. So that's all for this solution. Now parts B. Two schemes are proposed for increasing the amount of household waste that is recycled each week. Scheme A is to increase the amount each month by 0.16 tons. So it is a fixed increment that is arithmetic progression. Now scheme B is to increase the amount of waste recycled each month by 6%. So this is geometric progression, this is arithmetic progression, because it is by percentage. Now the proposal is to operate the scheme for a period of 24 months. All these are each month. The amount recycled in the first month is 2.5 tons. So this is the A, first term for both. Now for each scheme, find the total amount of waste that would be recycled after 24-month period. So now for the scheme A, we know that scheme A is basically arithmetic progression. Now your A is 2.5, and then because it's increased by 0.16 tons each month, that means the D is 0.16. And now you need to find out the total amount over the 24 period. That is the Sn. So now Sn formula is n over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1d. Therefore, I'm getting S24 equals to 24 over 2 times 2 of 2.5, the A is 2.5, plus 23 times 0.16. And here, I will be getting 104.16, but now since this is the answer, final answer, so I will round up. That is going to be 104 tons. Okay, so done for the scheme A. Now scheme B is basically a geometric progression. Again, your A is given first term, which is 2.5. Now the R common ratio is mentioned increase by 6%. 6% is 0.06. So your R becomes 1 plus 0.06. That is 1.06. Okay, so again, to get the Sn, since your R is greater than 1, therefore formula is A times R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. And now to count S24, just replace 2.5 times 1.06 degree to 24 minus 1 over 1.06 minus 1. Okay, so when you calculate this, and it will be 127. So that's the S24 for scheme B. Now the question 9. Okay, the function f is given by 2 minus 3 cos x. The x is defined from 0 to 2 pi. State the range of f. Okay, now we know that the maximum value for the cos x is 1 and the minimum value for cos x is minus 1 for this interval. Alright, so I just consider the values of cos x, the maximum and minimum, to get the range. So when cos x equals to minus 1, my fx is 2 minus 3 cos x. So the cos x is replaced by minus 1, end up to be 5. When cos x equals to 1, my fx is 2 minus 3 times 1. That is going to be minus 1. Therefore, for this interval, right, my fx is between minus 1 and 5. And that is my range of f. So it's inclusive both values because inclusive 0 and 2 pi. So that's all for first part. Now part 2, sketch a graph. Okay, so we know that the y value will be from minus 1 to 5. Okay, so now I copy the question first. Your fx equals to 2 minus 3 cos x. Right. Now, cos x is 1, fx is minus 1. Okay, and then cos x is minus 1, your fx is 1. Now, for your information, for the cos graph, if you sketch a cross graph, okay, when it is minus 1 for the cos, that means it happens at pi. Here is 2 pi. So that means this is basically at, this is when x equals to pi. Okay, and then when cos x equals to 1, so cos x equals to 1 means that you are referring to these 2 points because here is 1, which is 0 and 2 pi. So that means this happens when x equals to 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so now with this, I can just sketch a graph. My range is from minus 1 to 5. So when minus 1, I get 5. Okay, which means now so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is minus 1. Okay, here let's say this is pi over 2. This is pi. Here is 3 pi over 2 and followed by 2 pi. Now from when 0 and 2 pi I get minus 1. 0 and 2 pi I get minus 1, which means it's here. Sorry, 0 and 2 pi. Okay, then when pi I get 5. Right? So now you look at here, the graph is in this shape. Alright, so now it becomes like this. Right? So you can just check when pi over 2. So we know that when pi over 2, this is pi over 2, the cos is basically 0. So now you can just write when x equals to pi over 2 or x equals to 3 over 2 pi, both 0. Okay, so here 3 over 2 pi, the cos x will be 0. That means your fx is 2 minus 3 times 0, that is 2. So I found 2 points here. Okay, so now you can just join. So this is the curve. Alright, so this is my y equals to fx, which is equals to 2 minus 3 cos x. So done for this graph. Okay, now the function g is defined by same function, but then the x has been changed to 0 to p. State the largest p for which g has an inverse. Now look at the same graph. Inverse function exists, right, when you draw a line and it only passes through one intersection point. That's why now you are given, the question has revised the interval of x or the domain of x. So it will be starting from 0 until p. What is the largest p, so that when you draw a horizontal line which is parallel to x-axis, there's only one intersection point. So from here I know that it can be up to this point, right? That means it can be up to the x value is pi. So then it will be always having one intersection point. Therefore your p is pi. Okay, because your p is the x value. So that's the explanation, right? But the question is asking for state the largest p. So I will just write p equals to pi. Largest p. Okay, so now fourth part. For this p, find the expression for g inverse. So now just copy back this g. I will let y be gx. That means your y is basically 2 minus 3 cos x. Now to get the inverse function, get the x as a subject instead of the y. So it means that now I will move this negative 3 cos x to the left side, and the y will be moved to the right side. That means you will be getting 3 cos x equals to 2 minus y. And then now cos x is 2 minus y over 3. And then the x is inverse cos 2 minus y over 3. So that is the inverse function, and quickly change the x into g inverse, and then the y will be changed to x. So that's all for this solution. Okay, now next question. Question number 10. A curve for which the second derivative has a stationary point at 3, 6. Stationary points means dy over dx equals to 0. Now find the equation of the curve. So for your information, if let's say you are given y, you differentiate once, you will be getting dy over dx. And then you differentiate second time, that will be the second derivative. And now you are given second derivative. To get the equation of the curve means that you have to integrate 2 times, because integration is the reverse process of differentiation. That means now here I will write d squared y over dx squared equals to 2x minus 5. And now when you integrate, so dy dx is integrate 2x minus 5 dx. So for integration, just add 1 degree to the x. It becomes 2x squared over 2 minus 5x plus c. And I simplify this into x squared minus 5x plus c. This is my dy dx. Now, look at the question over here. It has a stationary point, means dy dx equals to 0 at 3, 6. That means when x equals to 3, you are getting the derivative equals to 0. The first derivative. So here I will write x equals to 3. dy over dx is 0. Then now when I replace, left hand side is replaced by 0. Right hand side, the x squared will be replaced by 3. Then, will be replaced by 3 squared. Then followed by minus 5 times 3 plus c. So from here, I will get 9 minus 15. So 9 minus 15 plus c equals to 0. Hence, your c, 9 minus 15 is basically minus 6. Move the minus 6 to the other side, becomes 6. So now I found my c and substitute back into your dy dx, because we need to find y. So now my dy dx is actually x squared minus 5x plus 6. And now to get the y, you need to integrate these three terms. So again, use the same method, plus 1 degree to the x and divide by new degree. So you get x cubed over 3 minus 5x squared over 2 plus 6x. Okay, supposedly we plus c, but then just now we will use c. So now probably here I use d. Okay, so now in this equation to find the d, we need the x and y values. That is the coordinates. Those are the coordinates of the point 3, 6. That means now I will write at 3, 6. That means the x is 3 and the y is 6. I will get 6 equals to 3 cubed over 3 minus 5 times 3 squared over 2 plus 6 times 3, then plus d. So 3 cubed over 3 is basically 27 over 3, which is 9. Then the next value is 5 times 9 over 2, which is 45 over 2, plus 6 times 3 is 18, then plus d equals to 6. Now from here, my d, when you move all the terms to the left hand side, and you will be getting 3 over 2. Therefore, my equation of the curve, just substitute this d into the y. That is my equation of the curve, which is y equals to x cubed over 3 minus 5x squared over 2 plus 6x plus 3 over 2. Okay, now next part, find the x coordinates of the other stationary points on the curve. So now, just now we have one stationary point. Now you need to find another stationary point. Just let dy dx be 0. So it means that I will let this expression be 0. Okay, so now d squared y over dx squared is x squared minus 5x plus 6. So not d squared y, it is dy dx. So dy dx equals to 0. That means x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. And this quadratic can be factorized. So again, when I factorize, x times x is x squared. The 6 can be 6 times 1 or 3 times 2. But then, when you look at this sign, minus times minus is a plus. So I will have to write minus and minus first. But since I need to get 5, minus 5 from the 6, this must be 3 and 2. Because when you multiply minus 3 to minus 3 to x, it will be minus 3x. And then the other one is minus 2x. So first column, when you times, you get x squared. Last column, when you times, you get plus 6. Middle column, when you plus, you get minus 5x. Okay, therefore, my factors just cross multiply. That will be x minus 3 and x minus 2. So one of them must be 0 because the product equals to 0. Therefore, x equals to 3 or x equals to 2. Now, I need to find another stationary point. Means that now you look at the given stationary points with x coordinate of 3. Therefore, my another stationary points must with x equals to 2. So the other stationary point that means the x is 2. Okay, so now I need to find out what is my y when x equals to 2. So, oh, no need, because the question is just asking for x coordinate. Alright, so done for the part 2. Part 3. Determine the nature of each of the stationary points. Nature means either maximum or minimum, right? Maximum or minimum. So maximum means that the second derivative is less than 0. Minimum means it is greater than 0. So now I need to refer to the second derivative expression, which is the form given by the question, which is 2x minus 5. So now d squared y over dx squared is 2x minus 5. So at the first point, right? So at x equals to 3, because just now I found two x values here, x is 3 and x is 2. So you just write down, just replace. The second derivative is 2 times 3 minus 5. That is 6 minus 5, I get 1. Okay, so when 1 that is greater than 0, then I will getting a minimum point. So it means that 3, so you can just write minimum point. Okay, so when x equals to 2, the second derivative is 2 times 2 minus 5. That is minus 1, which is less than 0. Therefore, I get a maximum point. So done for the nature of the stationary points. Now question 11, the diagram shows parts of the curve and the points P with coordinates 2, 1 lying on the curve. The normal to the curve at P intersects the x-axis at Q. Okay, this is a normal line. The tangent line is basically here. Okay, now first part. So the tangent line is basically touching the P. Okay, touches the curve at P. This is the tangent line. Now show that the x-coordinate of Q is 16 over 9. Now, before this, okay, we need to find out what is the equation of the PQ, which is a normal line. So normal line needs gradient. So then we know that tangent line is perpendicular to normal line. Therefore, the multiplication of two gradients will be minus 1. And for your information, the tangent line, the gradient, is basically same as dy dx. Therefore, now we need to differentiate. Okay, so rewrite the y, 3 over square root of 1 plus 4x. This is same as 3 of 1 plus 4x to the power of negative half. Now, for the differentiation, dy over dx, I will bring down the negative half because we have this formula. Differentiation of fx degree n. That is n fx degree of n minus 1, and then you differentiate the fx, that will be f prime x. Then now here, I will keep the 3. Okay, the minus half will be brought down. Then I rewrite 1 plus 4x, and then the degree, instead of minus half, you minus another 1, that is minus 3 over 2. And don't forget to differentiate the bracket, which is 4. And now you simplify. So the half and 4 becomes 2. So then you have 3, you have minus, you have 2, that means it's minus 6. So I will be getting minus 6. And since the second term with negative degree, I will move it down. So it means that this is over 1 plus 4x to the power of 3 over 2. Okay, and now I need to find out what is the gradient, which is a dy dx when x equals to 2, which is at the point P. So I will write here at point P 2, 1 with coordinates 2, 1. That means my dy dx is minus 6 over 1 plus 4 times 2, because my x is 2. then this is going to be minus 6 over 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 9 to the power of 3 over 2. That is going to be negative 2 over 9. Right, so we have found the gradient of tangent. So gradient of tangent equals to dy dx equals to negative 2 over 9. So now, gradients of tangent times gradients of normal equals to minus 1. So m normal equals to negative 1 over negative 2 over 9. That is 9 over 2. Okay, so now we need to find out what is the straight line, what is the normal line of PQ before we find the Q. So now, equation of normal at P coordinates to 1. So I will write y minus y1 equals to m of x minus x1. So that is going to be y minus 1 because y1 is 1 from the points P, and then the m is 9 over 2. Then x minus 2. And now here, basically you can just calculate this. I mean, you can just simplify this, or you can just direct find the Q coordinate. Okay. So now probably I will just simplify first. So your y is basically 9 over 2x. This 9 over 2 you times by negative 2. So the half and 2 cancel off, you get minus 9. That is minus 9. And followed by moving this minus 1 to the right side. That is plus 1. So I'm getting y equals to 9 over 2x minus 8. So then from here you can just write at Q. Basically, at Q, the y is 0. So now I need to find out what is the x. So then y equals to 0 means 0 is 9 over 2x minus 8. So in other words, 9 over 2x is 8. Therefore, your x is 9 times 2 over 9. 8 times 2 over 9. That is going to be 16 over 9. So your points Q, the question asking for x coordinate, which is 16 over 9. So it means that we have shown the answer. Now, next part. Find showing all necessary working the area of the shaded region. Let's move on to the graph. Since here I have found that this is 16 over 9. Okay, now to find the area of the shaded region is basically you integrate the whole graph from 0 until P, which is 2. Okay, my Q is 16 over 9. Here is 16 over 9. But then I integrate from 0 until 2. So when 0 until 2 means that including this triangle, this is 90 degrees. Alright, so now my idea is I find the integration from 0 to 2, then I minus this triangle, right angle triangle area. Okay, so then my working is area equals to integrate 0 to 2, the curve. So my curve I move up and refer to this form. So 3 times 1 plus 4x to the power of negative half dx. Okay, and then I minus area of the triangle. So area of triangle is basically half times base times height. I know that here is 1 because of the y coordinate is 1. That means here is 1. Okay, then the base you can just minus and times by half. That is the area of triangle. So it means that I will write here minus half times 1 times 2 minus 16 over 9. Then now I will do integration for the first part. Now the integration formula, integrate ax plus b to degree n dx. This is ax plus b. Instead of n, you change to n plus 1 degree, then over the new degree, and differentiate ax plus b is a, followed by plus c. This is the formula when n is not minus 1. That means now I will write 3 first. So 1 plus 4x, degree of minus half, you change to minus half plus 1, that is half. Then over half, and differentiate 1 plus 4x is 4. Then now limits from 0 to 2. Then for the right side, for the second term, it is half. Now 2 minus 16 over 9. It is 18 over 9. That it is 18 over 9 minus 16 over 9. That is 2 over 9. Okay, so now for the first term, half and 4 cancel off, becomes 2. So then I can take out the over 2. It becomes 3 over 2 here. So now I will replace the x by 2. Okay, and this degree half is square root. You can remain this as degree half, or you change to square root, it's up to you. So I will write square root 1 plus 4 times 2 minus square root of 1 plus 4 times 0. Then for the second term, the half and 2 cancel off. You are getting 1 over 9. Then now here, I will get 3 over 2 times square root 9, which is 3, minus the other one is square root 4, which is 2. So this is 3 over 2 minus 1 over 9. So at last, you will be getting let me check. Oh, sorry, I overlooked the second term. This second term, because 4 times 0 is 0, so this is basically square root 1. So here square root 1 is 1. So I'm getting 2 on the inside the bracket. So 2 inside the bracket, so 3 over 2 times 2, right? So here basically I'm getting 3 over 2 times 2 minus 1 over 9. That is 3 and 2, the half and 2 cancel off. Then you are getting 3 minus 1 over 9. That is going to be 2 and 8 over 9. Okay, so that's the area of the shaded region. Alright, so I have completed the whole paper and it has come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy watching the video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and also share this channel with your friends. To show support to this channel, you may just click the thanks button below the video. Alright, so thank you everyone, and stay tuned for more academic videos. See you.